introduction to software engineering includes the basic definitions of software engineering, the factors which decides the size of the software, quality and productivity factors which decides the software, and the managerial issues faced by the software developers. The software engineering is defined by different people. Poem defined the software engineering is the practical application of scientific knowledge to design and construction of computer programs and the associated documentation required to develop, operate and maintain the software. According to IEEE, it is the systematic approach to the development, operation, maintenance and retainment of software. Generally, the software engineering is a technological and managerial discipline concerned with systematic production and maintenance of software products that are developed and modified on time within estimated cost. In software engineering, the processes which are involved in it are development, operation, maintenance and retainment of software. The software is nothing but the computer programs, procedures, rules and possibly associated documentation and pertaining to the operation of computer system. The goal for the software engineering is to improve the quality of software product, to increase the productivity of the software, job satisfaction of software engineers. In software engineering, three peoples are mainly involved. The first one is programmer who implementing, packaging and modifying algorithm and data structure written in particular programming languages. The second one is a software engineer or developer who additionally concerned with issues of analysis, design, verifications and testing, documentation, software maintenance and project management. The third one is the customer. The customer or end users may or may not be the same. Some of the applications both are same. For some of the application, the customer are who purchase the software, end users are who are going to use the software for their regular usage. Normally, the software is decided by its quality. The software qualities includes usefulness, clarity, reliability, efficiency, cost effectiveness of the software. The usefulness of the software decides satisfaction from the end user side. The clarity of the software focuses on how it clearly written and easily understood by the people. The reliability is the ability of the program to perform the required functions under the stated conditions for stated period of time. The efficiency of the software focuses on primary quality of the software. Cost effectiveness of the software in development, in maintenance and in use. These things decides the quality of the software. The software having various factors which decides the size. In this size factor, the various factors which decides the software is going to discuss. The first one is total effort devoted to software expenditure. Normally, the expenditure focused on hardware as well as software in the software development. In the 1960s, 80% of the expenditure spent on hardware and 20% of the expenditure spent on software. After 1980s, it varies. 20% of the expenditure spent on hardware and 80% of the expenditure spent on software development. After 1990s, it changed to 10% of expenditure spent on hardware, 90% of the expenditure spent on software development. Normally, it shows the demand for high quality software and how the people spend on expenditure for software development. Also, it shows that software maintenance is a large growing portion of the software effort. The maintenance is the part of the software, not in hardware. The distribution of effort, this focus on the typical lifespan for software product is how much years they are going to spend on the software. Typical lifespan normally decides 1 to 3 years in development, 5 to 15 years in maintenance. The distribution of effort normally between development and maintenance are during the 1960s, 40% on development and 60% on maintenance. During 1980s, it changed to 30% on development, 70% on maintenance. After 1990s, 10% of the effort spent on development and 90% of effort spent on maintenance. Maintenance normally involves enhancing the capabilities of the product, adapting the product to new processing environment, correcting the bugs. Typical distribution of maintenance efforts for enhancement 60%, adoption 20%, correction 20%. During the development phase, distribution of effort is on analysis and designing for 40%, implementation, debugging and testing need 20% of efforts, integration and acceptance testing needs 40% of effort. The following figure shows the distribution of effort in software life cycle. In the software life cycle, 16% of efforts spent on analysis and design, 8% of effort spent on implementation, 16% of effort needed for testing, 12% spent on adoption, 36% on enhancing the software, 12% of efforts spent on fixing the bugs. Several facts or evidence to decide the software development. One is software maintenance activity consumes more resource than the development. A large percentage of total effort is devoted to software enhancement. Testing requires almost half the effort during the software development. The activities of system testing, enhancement and adoption consumes the 3/4 of total lifecycle effort. Normally, the implementation requires less than 10% of total lifecycle effort. The size of the project also decides the efforts needed for the software development. The project size are categorized into various types based on its size. The categories include trivial, small, medium, large, very large, extremely large. These categories are decided based on the number of lines involved in the software development and number of months needed for the software development and the size, the number of pupils involved in the software development. These things decided by the application for which they are going to develop. The efforts as well as the time spent on the software development is very important. So far we discussed about how the efforts are spent on the development and maintenance. Now we are going to discuss about how the timing are spent on the software development work. Normally in the software development, the software developers spend 13% of their time on writing the programs, 16% of their time on reading programs and manuals, 32% of their time spent on job communication, 13% of their time they spend on their personal work, 15% of their time is spent on miscellaneous, and 6% of their time spent on their training. Then 5% of the time they spend on mail the work so far they completed to the customer, to the team leader, as well as the people involved in the teamwork. Next, we are going to discuss about the quality and productivity factors for software. The quality and productivity factors decides how the development and maintenance of software are complex. Systematic approach is not possible for small programs for personal use or homework exercise. The degree of formality and amount of time depends on size. Software quality and programmers' productivity can be improved by improving the process used to develop, maintain the software products. In this quality and productivity factors, the first factor is individual's ability. Individual ability is important factors which decides the quality and productivity of the software. The individuals here represent the production and maintenance labors. The productivity and quality depends on the individual efforts spent on the software development. According to Segment, he conducted an experiment in 1968 regarding this. Two aspects which decides it. One is general competence of individual. This focuses on the basic ability to write correct programs. The individual differences are more than the team. The second one is familiarity of individual with the particular application area. Suppose the developers are not focused or not already having experience on this application area, means that will reduce the quality of the product. The team communication, second one is team communication. This is very important for the software development work. The programming has traditionally been regarded as the individual and private activity. Many programmers have low social needs to prefer to work alone. It is possible to misunderstand the role of their modules in an evolving system. In order to control this, the designing reviews, structured walkthroughs and code reading exercise are normally introduced in order to improve the communication among the team of people involved in the software development. This normally increases the product size, result in decreasing programmers' productivity due to interactions among components, communication required among programmers, manager and customers. According to Brooks' law, the number of communication paths among the programmers should grow in n into n minus 1 by 2. Here the n represents the number of programmers involved in the project team. Interdependent process development should be in a sequential order. Adding more number of programmers sometimes may increase the time needed to complete the work. Less number of people may work very fast than the more number of works because the communication may lead to delay. The next one is product complexity. There are three levels of product complexity. The productivity measured in the lines of code per programmers per day decides this. The first one is application programs, then second one is utility programs, the third one is system programs. The product complexity decided by the category of whether it is application or utility or system level programs. Application programs involved scientific data processing written using high level language, have highest productivity. developed at a rate of 25 to 100 times of system programs, highest productivity. Then utility programs includes compiler, development of compiler programs, assemblers, linkage, editors and loader programs. Written in high-level language like Pascal or in assembly language, produced at rate of 5 to 10 times than system program. System level programs involved operating system, data communication and real-time control systems. This one having lowest productivity than the previous two. One line per day is possible for system level programs. Next one is appropriate notations. This one focus on the representation schemes involved in the software development process. This provides vehicles of communication among project personnel and introduce the possibility of using automated software tools to manipulate the notations and verify proper usage. Normally, good notations clarify the relationship between the components. Poor notations increase the complication among the people for software development. Normally, the notations created are focused for the following areas: functional requirements, implementation base, design specifications, test plan, and performance criteria. Systematic approaches are normally needed for procedures and techniques used for software development and maintenance. Normally, standard practices are used for these systematic approaches. Changes in the control is also very important. The flexibility of software is a great strength for the changes in the control. Requirement can also change due to poor understanding of the problem. Some projects experience constantly changing requirements. These decides the quality as well as the productivity. The level of technology used in the software is also very important to decide the software quality as well as the productivity. That focus on the techniques used on software project. This includes how the programming languages, machine environment and programming practices as well as the software tools used for the software development. The modern programming languages normally supports the data definition, data usage, improved construct for specifying control flow, better modularization facilities, user-defined exception handling, concurrent programming. This increases the quality as well as the productivity. Machine environment decides a set of hardware and set of software facilities for developing, using and maintaining a software product. Stability and availability of the machine environment exert a strong influence on productivity and quality. Modern programming practices focus on systematic analysis and design techniques, appropriate notations, structured coding, systematic techniques for examining, designing document and source code, fully development environment that focus on improving the quality as well as the productivity factors. Next factors which decides the quality and productivity of the software is the level of reliability. Every software should possess a basic level of reliability. The extreme reliability gained only when the great care taken on analysis of software, implementation time, system testing time and maintenance time. Both human and machine resources are required to obtain increased reliability. This results in decreased productivity when the productivity measured in line of codes produced by programmer month. POEM estimates the productivity ratio between very low and extremely high required reliability is on the order of 2:1. The understanding of the problem is also very important to decide the quality as well as productivity. These factors focused on the lack of understanding. The lack of understanding normally happens due to customer does not understand the nature of the problem, does not understand the capability and limitations of computers. Sometimes customers does not trained to think on logical algorithm terms and they doesn't know whether it is possible to computerized or not. The another one is software engineers. Suppose software engineers does not understand the application area and has trouble in communicating with the customer because of educational backgrounds of the software engineers, viewpoints and technical jargon. This may lead to problem in understanding. This automatically the nature of the problem does not know until the software product constructed and operator doesn't know, and software product constructed and operator are not able to understand by the software developer as well as the customer. The automated solutions changes the nature of the problem if suppose they go with careful planning, customer interviews, task observation, prototyping, pre-preliminary version of the user's manuals are very important to understand the problem and avoid the problem so far we discussed. Precise product specification can increase the understanding of the problem by both engineers as well as the end users. Available time for the software development is also very important factor for deciding the quality as well as the productivity. Suppose one programmer needs 6 months, means 6 programmer need 1 month for the same work. The coordination and communication and large elapsed time is needed among the multiple programmer. 2 programmers are involved in the software development, means that need only 3 months to complete the work. This one is more effective than the one programmer needs 6 months. Extending nominal duration increases the total effort. Determining optimum staffing level and proper elapsed time for various activities is an important aspect of cost and resource estimation. Required skills for the software development at the developer side is also very important for deciding the quality as well as productivity factor. In order to extract information from the end user, the programmer need good communication skill, tacticious and diplomacy and knowledge in the area. For requirement definition and designing, people are good creativity and problem solving skills. During the implementation time, they need correctly write and no misspelling, no errors in syntax or punctuation. During the debugging time, the debugger should know the detective skills of errors. Planning time, they need the consideration of every conceivable situations and stress. The testing time, a destructive what if, external documentation preparation time, good writing skill, place oneself in user position. Finally, the software engineer must technically competent, possess sufficient skill to interact with customer are very essential to decide quality and productivity factors. And the facilities and resources for software development also decides the quality of the softwares. There are some factors which motivate the programmers on good machine access, quiet place for work, status related factors involved in reserving parking place and executive restroom. Then positive aspects also decides they are creative challenges, variety of tasks, opportunity for professional advancement. Some of the negative aspects are decreases the quality, those are management ineptness, company policies, organizational bureaucracy. Project manager effectively manage means the factors motivated and frustrated the software quality. Adequacy of training is also decides the quality. Poem has described the skills lacking in entry-level programmers that express oneself clearly in English, develop and validate software requirements and design specification, work with an application area, perform software maintenance, work with the project management techniques, work in group. These are predictable lag between educational supply and industry demand. Management skills of the people are very important in deciding the productivity factor. The software project supervised by the manager, experienced hardware manager, difficult to understand the software, difficulty to manage a software engineer reported to hardware engineer. Unfortunate situation for the manager may lead to problem with quality. On the other hand, promoting software engineers by giving training on project management and make them to prepare for project management tasks, providing software management training to hardware engineer in order to understand and to reduce the problem arises so far. Fixing the appropriate goal is very important for the software quality. Primary goal of software engineering is the development of software product for intended use. Every software product should provide optimal level of generality, efficiency, reliability. Productivity and quality can be achieved by adhering to the goals and requirements established for the software products during the project planning. Rising the expectation may change the quality. Most pervasive problem in software engineering is rising expectation. Two aspects are interrelated in this one. One is concern of how much functionality. This involves reliability and performance of the software development effort. The second one is the issue of fundamental limitations of software technology to improve software quality and programmer productivity. Progress is constantly being made in the development of tools and techniques to improve the software quality and programmer productivity. However, the diversity, size and complexity of software application are growing at much faster rate. Dramatic advance in hardware expected from software also change. Report of success increases the pressure on higher quality and productivity. The use of systematic techniques to develop and maintain software products results in increased programmer productivity and product quality. Other factors which decide the quality and productivity are familiarity with access to, stability of the computing systems used to develop or modify the software, memory and timing constraints for the software product, experience with programming languages, database size. Wilson and Felix then Poem have conducted studies of many factors that influence quality and productivity. So far we discussed about the various factors which decides the quality as well as productivity of the software product. Next we are going to discuss about the managerial issues faced by the software developers during the software development time. The technical and managerial activities are equally important to the success of the software. Managers control the resources and the environment in which technical activities occurs. The responsibility of the managers are to ensure on-time deliver whether the software development works are going on within estimated cost. They have to exhibit the functional and quality attributes desired by the customer. They have to prepare business plan, recruiting customers, developing marketing strategies, recruiting and training employees are the part of the manager's responsibility. Normally, the project management involves methods for organizing and monitoring project, cost estimation techniques, resource allocation policies, budgetary control, project milestone, assessing progress, reallocating resources, scheduling adjustment, establishing quality assurance procedures, maintaining controls of various product, fostering communication among project members, communicating with the customers, developing agreements among customer and developers. The various problems faced by the managers that is categorized by Dyer, Peister and Wood. They hypothesized 20 problem areas faced by the management. The problems are planning is very poor, procedures and techniques are very poor, accountability is very poor, estimation of required resources are very poor, success criteria are inappropriate, result in unreliable, difficult to use and maintain. Decision rules to aid in selecting the proper organizational structure are not available. Decision rules to aid in selecting the correct management techniques are not available. Procedures, methods and techniques helps managers to control their projects. For designing project control system are not available. Procedures, techniques, strategies and aids that will provide visibility of progress to the project manager are not available. Standards and techniques for measuring the quality of performance and the quantity of production expected from programmers and data processing analysis are not available. For these problems, there are some solutions also given that are educate, train the top management, project management and software developers. Enforce the use of standards, procedures and documentation. Analyze data from prior to software project to determine effective methods. Define objectives in terms of quality desired. Define quality in terms of deliverables. Establish success priority criteria. Allow for contingencies. Develop truthful, accurate cost and schedule estimates that are accepted by management customer. Select project manager based on ability to manage software projects rather than technical ability or availability. Make specific work assignments to software developers and apply job performance standards.